Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One, and I just wanted to show you real quick what I do with my scraps and how I make tags and bookmarks and little projects to use on other projects like little mini albums or whatever. So you can kind of use these for whatever you want to use them for. So basically, you're going to need just your scraps, and I just got a pile of scraps right here that I'm going to use. And then I have some of these, just little strips. And then I have these. And I've already trimmed them down. These were leftover pieces from another project that I did. And this is actually poster board. So I just kind of save these because they're good to use. These are, it's good sturdy. I don't know if you can see the thickness of it or not. But anyway, so these make good good sturdy tags or bookmarks or whatever you want to use them for. And you can use squares, you can use strips, you can use whatever you want to use basically. So I'm just going to show you real quick how we do this. Let me grab my glue. You're going to need some glue. If you want to do this in a hurry, you're going to need some fast drying glue. If you know, if you have time to let the glue dry, then you can use Elmer's glue. So it's basically just up to you. And I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. Scoot this over so we're in frame so you can see what I'm doing. So basically you just lay your strip down, and I'm going to turn mine over because I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because you can see the black on that a little easier than you can on the black mat. And I want to use the side that has the sticker on it so that doesn't show. So basically, I'm just using Aleene's, but you can use Elmer's if you want to, but it just takes longer for it to dry. And you're just going to run glue all the way up and down. And you want to make sure you get enough glue to where your paper is going to hold good. And then you just start taking your strips and laying them on. And you can do them straight across like this, but I tend to angle them just for added effect. And you do want to make sure that the paper that you use is of similar thickness. In other words, you don't want one piece that's really thick up beside, whoops, a piece that's really thin, and then it's going to cause some problems with the overlapping. And then these were cut from the last one that I did, and because I've recorded this video 3 different times and my camera wasn't cooperating on my notepad, so I had to switch to my phone. So but you can, once you trim them off, you can use them again if you have pieces that are big enough to go from corner to corner. So you just basically keep lining them up across your poster board. I have no idea what that noise was, so sorry about that. So you just want to make sure that they get glued down good. And you just keep going. You want to make sure that when you put them together that they're touching. Or if you want to have, strips of the black underneath, you can. It's basically your project. Whatever you want to do works. Because there is no rhyme or reason to this. It's just a really good way to use up your scraps. And these scraps have been sitting in my little scrap notebook forever. So I thought it was high time to use them and get some good use out of them. Okay. Alright. So once you get the whole strip covered, I always like to turn it over. Sorry, I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera, but it's a little bit difficult. But anyway, I just take my bone folder and I'm going to rub all the way down just to make sure that everything catches good in the glue. Rub it from side to side. And there we go. Okay. Now, you'll want to set this to the side and let it dry. And with the Aleene's, you only have to let it dry for just a few seconds. But I do already have one here that I started on the first video that I did to try and show you guys. And you can see on this one, I just used little strips, but they're they work. Okay, and then all you're going to do is you're just going to take your trimmer, flip it over on the back, and then you just line it up in here, because basically you're just going to trim away the edges. Okay, so that one's not going to cooperate, so we're going to start on this side first. So you just line it up to the edge and trim. Now you can do this when it's wet, but it makes it a little harder for it to cut, and it does kind of get all over your trimmer and it gets sticky and all that good stuff. So it's a little bit better just to wait until the glue is dry. But like I said, if you use a fast drying glue, you know, it doesn't take long for it to dry. The other day I did some of these, and I used, well, it wasn't even Elmer's school glue. It was just like cheap little school glue that you buy at the dollar store. And I wound up having to let them dry overnight, which I was fine with because I was just playing around anyway. So, but you just basically just line it up, push all these pieces out of the way. I'm not super thrilled with this trimmer, just simply because I've had lots of problems with it. But I do like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's almost like a piano string in there, or not a piano string, a guitar string in there, that gives you a really good guide that helps you line it up really well. Okay, and then you just go down through there, trim it all off, and then you have something that looks like this. Now, here's a tip, because I messed up. See these little black pieces showing through? That's because I didn't have my strips long enough to cover from corner to corner, even with the angle. So, what I will do with this, usually I don't have them this big anyway, because that's a really large size. Well, let's see. It measures right a little over 10.5 inches. So nobody's going to have a book that you want to put a 10.5 inch bookmark in. So what I'll do is I'll just go right here to 5 1/4. Whoops. Trim it down. And then you have something like this. Now you can make a tag out of this. You can make a bookmark out of this. Whatever you so desire. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along the side and just trim off that edge, because there's no rule that says it has to be a specific width or anything like that. So the good thing with this is you can just cut away any mistakes that you have. See? There you go. So you can go ahead and do the second side as well, or you can leave it either the black or the white, or you can even do it with chipboard. This one I did with an old Frosted Flakes cereal box. So I will go back and do the back side of this one, so it'll be double-sided. And then what you want to do is you can take a corner rounder or an angle punch or anything like that. Let me just scoot this out of the way. This is an old Creative Memories corner rounder, and it has been used to death. And any of you scrapbookers out there, I'm sure you've heard of Creative Memories, and you know how old this bad boy is. So I have to give it a little bit more oomph than what I would have to do probably one of the newer models. But my theory is, if it still works, why replace it? Okay, so you can either do that, or, and I have a few that I've already done, so I'll go ahead and show you those, just to kind of give you some ideas of what you can do with them. You can put your little hole in the center, and see how I didn't around the edges of these, I did the angle like a tag. Then you put your hole reinforcers, and what I did was I just took a sheet of the hole reinforcers, because I knew I was going to have quite a few of this in this style paper, and I put some ink on it so that it kind of matched, because the bright white would probably have looked kind of weird on there. But anyway, so and then you can put your hole reinforcer in there, and then you run some twine or some ribbon or some jute or whatever you want to. And on this one I left the back blank so that I can write on it and use it for a gift. And then these, I didn't trim. These can be used as bookmarks. They can be trimmed down or whatever. But you get the basic idea. It's just basically something that you can do with all those scraps that you've got laying around in your drawer or your box, or in my case in the notebook that's entirely too thick and that I need to get rid of some of those scraps. So when you don't have, you know, that crafty inspiration, this is something that you can do to use up some of the scraps in your craft room and to get rid of some of the things that are in your way so you can move on to bigger and better things. So if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, I hope you subscribe as well and help me grow my channel, and I will help you grow yours as well. And if you have any comments or any suggestions for things that I can do with these other than tags and bookmarks, leave them in the comments below. And you guys have a great day.